Let's talk now to James Elder, who's from the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF. Good to see you, James. Thank you for joining us. You're in Gaza, aren't you? What's the situation like there now?
Yeah, hi, Robin. Look, it's desperate. You know, you've just had 6-7 weeks of horrendous bombardments and incredible numbers of children killed. Hospitals here are literally war zones. Children who still bear the horrendous brunts, whether it's amputations or whether it's shrapnel wounds or burns, and there are still emergency wards in car parks, on hospital floors. Hospitals, of course, are refuges as well. And then the refuges, the schools, the centres for training that are now absolutely packed with people who 2 months ago were in their homes, in their apartments. So there remains critical lacks of water, of food. These are the things that aid agencies right now are getting in, and will continue getting them in as long as this pause turns into a ceasefire. This cannot be just a moment in time. It has to be prolonged.
So your organisation focuses on children. You've talked there a bit about some of the physical effects that children in Gaza are suffering from at the moment. But it's bigger than that, isn't it? What are the broader effects of being a child in Gaza now?
Look, it can be dangerous to have blanket statements, Robin, but I think every single child in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, has some sort of mental health issues now. I mean, I've seen deeply traumatised children. I was an hour ago in a hospital seeing a little 7-year-old girl who has lost, because of the attack on her apartment, her right arm, her right leg. And the entire time that I was there with her, for 10 or 15 minutes, she just shook. And I asked, is that always the case, or because, you know, as a foreigner I'm there? And no, it's always the case. I listened to or spoken with dozens of children like this, or a 15-year-old girl who I was just with in Khan Yunis, who, you know, just wants to go home, as she kept pleading for her home, her bedroom, her laptop, and now she's sleeping with 3 siblings. Her father sleeps in the car. You know, this is not their home, this is not their life, but this is their reality right now. And it's for people north to south.
We have now started to see some aid come into Gaza as this humanitarian pause continues. How are organisations like yours managing to get it to where it's needed?
Well, with a great deal of coordination from all the UN agencies. The biggest agency here, UNRWA, working for the Palestinian people, has been getting fuel to the north. Fuel, of course, here equals water, because it means pumping desalination plants, which is just so critical. There's such a lack of water for people at the moment. UNICEF, I was with a convoy that went north, Robin, on Sunday. That was medical supplies, went to hospitals. See again the urgent need. Churches within hospitals have been turned into emergency wards. We had emergency supplies, saline, rehydration, multivitamins, kits for midwives, because women are giving birth in this war zone. So we're getting the right types of aid in now. We need more of it across the Gaza Strip, and we need to keep prolonging it. This has been a devastating, almost like nothing I've ever seen, 7 weeks. And the entire, everyone is in some degree of shock. It's going to take a long, long time to repair the physical destruction, as you rightly point out, Robin, the mental scarring. But really, those kind of things can only start once we drift into a prolonged ceasefire, rather than just these short moments, which, don't get me wrong, they're wonderful. They are, as you show in your program, getting Israeli children home, ending the torment there, bringing back Palestinian children who've been detained. These are very good moments, but they have to be sustained. We cannot for a moment think that the destruction of Gaza and the killing of children is in any way going to bring peace to this region.
And as time goes on and the weather perhaps gets colder, are there any additional challenges surrounding that?
Yeah, it's a great question. Absolutely. It's cold. It gets cold at night now, and everyone left hoping that there was for a small space of time, or they left literally under fire, or they moved to a shelter which was then under fire and moved again. They don't have many things. They don't have all their worldly possessions that they had in their homes. It's cold. It's starting to rain. The municipalities and government have obviously, the sanitation services have broken down. You know, UNICEF for 5 weeks has been warning about the threat of disease outbreak. It's very, very real. A lack of clean water. Children aren't getting enough food. This is a perfect storm. And our great fear is that beyond the horrendous, ghastly threats that have come from the sky to children, now we have threats on the ground.
James, good to talk to you today. Thank you very much for joining us. That's James Elder from UNICEF.